I'm Jeff Cornwall, and this is the Entrepreneurial Mind. Today, our guest is Tyler Newkirk with Gunio. We'll be back to talk with him after this. Welcome, Tyler.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
I had your cohort Tasia here about a year or so ago, and a lot's happened in Gunio since then. So first of all, just talk a little bit about what Gunio does. What is it that you guys do as a business?
Yeah. So at the highest level, we are an IT staffing company. So companies will come to us for any type of software project needs that they may have.
So this could be web-based, could be app-based.
Yep, web-based, mobile apps, middleware for existing companies that need features here, there, maintenance even, so all across the board.
Even mainframe kind of work too. So
yeah, we do architecture, security.
You got some COBOL people out there still?
I mean, it depends. Those are harder to find.
Yeah, they are hard to find.
Hard to find. But yeah, we have skill sets that are really all across the board. So
you have dozens, hundreds?
Thousands in our community of freelance developers all across the world, mostly here in the United States though. Like I said, they have disciplines that kind of span the entire board, and so we can spin them up as needed for different clients. If we need to pull in a security expert for part of an initial spec for 2 hours, we can do that, and that's it. So we have a lot of resources to be able to handle a lot of different kind of projects.
So how do you manage projects with that huge an array of people? What makes this company work?
Yeah. So that kind of gets back to your original question on the big switch. And what we noticed was when we first started in about 2012, we were very much a marketplace where clients or customers would come in, individuals would come in and say, hey, I want to find a good developer. We had thousands in our community. We would match them with some of the best ones, and then they would go do their thing, and that would be the end of it for us. But as we talked to developers and clients, we discovered that good talent didn't necessarily mean that there was going to be a good end result. There was management styles that differed, existing code bases that may not have been managed or documented well. There's just other characteristics of an overall project that good talent alone may not overcome.
Right.
And so as a result, we said, okay, our brand, unfortunately, would take a hit if we would find a good developer for somebody and the project wouldn't be, hit out of the park. They would still think, I didn't have a good time with Gunio or a good success. And so we decided, how can we mitigate some of that risk? And ultimately, again, through talking with different developers and clients, we said, hey, if we can, now that we've done this for several years, now that we have a good understanding of what this should look like, we can put managers in place to oversee the project from end to end, work with the developers, kind of be the translator between the technical side and the business side typically of most clients.
And they're also freelance people as well, the managers?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. So again, they're all managed 1099. And we have to walk that line and know how much we can say and how much we have to, let them work autonomously.
Right.
And it's something that we do keep an eye on constantly. But so far, it's worked really well. And it really just allows us to say, hey, you can trust us, Gunio, the brand, to deliver on a project because we can manage all the aspects and we've got 100% transparency throughout the entire process.
So when did you realize that you had kind of made the right changes? What did you start to see change in terms of internal and also your independent contractors and your customers? What did you start to notice at a firm that you had made the right decision?
Yeah, it was a mix of obviously some financial results, which is great.
It's always a good measure of success, yeah.
But also just talking to them and getting feedback. From the developers, we've come up with a system where they can get paid weekly, via direct deposit, and they love that. That's something they say that is hard to find in other places with freelance work. And so, hearing that and hearing that they love the way that they're managed, but have the freedom to work when they want, where they want, is great. And from the client side, they love that they know what's going on in a project at all times. They don't feel like they're putting their money in a black box and not knowing where it's going or what's happening with it.
Right.
Which is a result of our managers being in constant communication with them. And so just the overall perception, an overall response, I guess, from clients and contractors to say, hey, this is great. Like obviously we're constantly refining and constantly iterating that process, but for the most part, we've gotten some great feedback, and growth and financial results have really said that, hey, this is the way we think we need to keep pursuing.
That's fun when the market says you got this right.
Yes.
And it really becomes affirming. So how do you grow this indefinitely with this sort of independent contractor model, or is there a point where you're going to have to start addressing your own infrastructure as well? Because right now it's just a couple of you guys basically, and a small handful of people that run this whole thing.
It is. It's a small handful, and so we're very heavy on documentation and knowledge management, and we're constantly working on improving that and improving the translation of that with some of our managers and all the way down to the developers. That they have a sense of how the business runs as a whole and what our core values are. And there's the same growing pains, I guess, that come with new clients and saying, okay, we've got to bring in more people for this project. How do we manage them? And learning through that is tough. But for the most part, it's kind of we got to hold our feet close to the fire.
But do you see the need for maybe some new employees that are part of the team at some point? If so, kind of what are the pressure points going to be, do you think?
Yeah, so the pressure points that we've kind of anticipated are going to be closer to the client side relations. We try really heavy to keep our overhead low, admin, administrative work very streamlined, and so we don't really see the burden there, but more so of, okay, how do we manage, and at what point do we need to hire some people that are full-time to trickle down what we want the process to be to the lowest levels of contractors, because we can't do that ourselves, indefinitely.
Right. Very good. Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing your progress, and it's an amazing transformation, and exciting you guys are doing so well.
Yeah, it is. Thanks for having me.